Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 4 of Movie Killers. This is Blake.
This is Tom.
And today we're going to be doing something. Well, Tom, actually, you said it was going to be a surprise. So, what movie are we doing today?
Well, it's a double surprise, really. We're going to be doing the movie Iron Man.
Oh, I love Iron Man. Marvel, the first of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yep, the shiphead, really. And the other thing is we'll only be doing one movie.
Yes, we are. You're right. We are going to, since we're still trying to figure out our format and the best way to do it, and we realized that Terminator Part 2 went on for a little too long because we did 3 movies. We're going to just do one movie this time, see how it works. Maybe in the future we'll stick with 2 movies, but for now we're going to just try this, and we'll find that, and hopefully the podcast will be a more consistent time frame for you guys.
If you liked it the other way, by all means,
yes, please
let us know.
Any feedback, whether it's how we're doing things, any ideas you may have, or even just a movie you want us to not try take our attempt at. We're all for that. But let's go ahead and have some fun with.
Oh, but I did want to state that the way to get us in contact with that feedback would be preferred is our Facebook page. Just type into the search bar Movie Killers. We're literally the only one out there right now.
Yeah, and also I am uploading these as a video with a picture for now onto YouTube. So if
there's the comment sections.
You got friends who aren't really on Facebook that much, or they don't go to SoundCloud to listen to this. You can find us on YouTube as well right now.
All right.
But without further ado, I think it's time we rock on with Iron Man.
Yep. Cue Iron Man music.
Okay.
So now, what was your
you want
very
me to go
big?
first?
Yeah, I figure we're gonna change up the dynamic this show. Let's change up the dynamic.
Right, I kind of want to because this is like one of my favorite movies, and I'm not gonna lie. After rewatching it, this was not easy because I will give Marvel this. Even for the first Cinematic Universe, they did nearly everything right. This movie was pretty solid.
I don't know. Bald Jeff Bridges did find quite disheartening.
Yeah, well, he was a good villain. But you want to know what I think is the biggest plot hole that can kill this entire movie?
Yeah.
And actually, it happens in the very beginning.
Well, I'd hope.
Exactly. Is when he gets out of the Humvee during the ambush, jumps over the rock, tries to call for help, and that bomb goes off, and he gets hit with a shrapnel. Now, why is this a problem? Here's why. Those of you who pay attention, who can look it up and see for yourself, he is wearing dragon skin armor. It was not, the government didn't want to take it on, even though it was proven through private, military, and civilian testing to far surpass the military standard Impenetrator series, the IBA, I believe it is, in every way. This kind of armor can take a point-blank M67 grenade and nothing gets through. Granted, the user might feel the force and injuries from that, but the point is, Tony would have had no shrapnel get through that armor, which means no shrapnel, no miniaturizing arc reactor, no Iron Man suit, because scientists who have looked over this movie when it first came out have stated that suit is completely possible, the flight, the weapons, but there's no way right now to power it. The arc reactor miniaturized is that Deus Ex Machina, that MacGuffin that lets it happen. We don't have that, but without that accident, he wouldn't have made it. So without that, no Iron Man. You would have a story of a guy maybe getting out of a cave if he was still caught, or dying, but never the Iron Man suit.
Okay.
Unless you got something to maybe counteract that, or do you think that's
about
solid?
the suit? Oh
no, the shrapnel.
Yeah,
the
that's what I mean about the vest.
Okay.
I can state it as such. We're talking about Stark grade military weapons. That means they're meant to go through armor. It could be obviously some type of alloy that allowed to destroy that particular vest. I mean, Stark's very good with alloys, as he made a freeze-proof Iron Man suit. I got to assume that the metal he used was able to penetrate through armor, which is what you'd want your shell to do when it explodes right next to people.
Okay, that's fair. But also let's consider the fact that since Tony's making nearly all these weapons, or we can assume he's a large part of the design for most of them, if he was going out to the field to demonstrate, which is could be considered a major, but it's Tony Stark, so of course he was in the field to demonstrate his weapon, he would go out there with the best armor his company has ever created to prevent an accident like this from happening.
Ooh.
So I still think that even though, yes, those are Stark weapons, that the armor he personally wore would have been to be able to protect him from something simple as shrapnel like that.
I disagree. Because he was not expecting to get attacked by Stark military weaponry. Because he had no idea the enemy was getting dealt Stark industry weaponry.
Legally,
He thought at the very least hammer tech.
Well, yeah, we've seen number 2 how hammer tech works.
Exactly. So he was not. He was expecting anything but Stark armor, or Stark weapons, to attack his armor, because he didn't know they had Stark weapons. And plus, he wasn't really planning on getting attacked. He had a full military escort.
Yeah.
And then on top of all of that, this was not a shell that was meant for personnel. This thing was meant to go through a Humvee, which is what he was riding in when he was attacked.
Yeah.
That shell missed its target, overshot. They were not planning on hurting Stark. They were not planning on killing Stark. They were planning on taking him hostage. They had no intents on hurting him.
And that may be, but let me kind of rewind back to
Rewind.
Dragon Skin armor. It is a real-world armor. Granted, the company did go under because the government didn't pick up the contract. But out of all the testing, which you can catch future weapons, CNN even did a special on it. This vest protected against multiple rounds from an AK-47, which is I think the highest caliber for rifles, for assault rifles.
What?
The AK-47, the 7.62.
No. We're talking 50 cal BMG is
you're right,
currently the round used
right,
by
I
U.S.
forgot.
military snipers.
The 50 cal would be on a different level. Okay, but for standard troops, the AK-47 would be the highest you'd see in the field. It protected against that. Many other calibers, maybe not the 50 cal, but that was not used in the scene at all. And like I said, they put the vest on a dummy, put it on top of a M67 grenade, and detonated it. And while the front of the vest was torn all to hell, nothing got through the vest. The wearer, the dummy, or the person that they were behind that, would have received no shrapnel, therefore no injuries from the shrapnel from the grenade. Now, like I said, the force would still have hit the person, and there could have been injuries or maybe death from that. I don't know. But the point being is that Tony would not have had anything to do with the shrapnel. But granted, his face could have been scarred up. His limbs could have been scarred up or broken up easily. But his vital organs would have been untouched. And like I said, this vest has been tested both through private tests, military, and civilian, and shown to outperform standard U.S. gear, which the soldiers in the movie were wearing, which they died. But granted,
They
someone
weren't
else
wearing
didn't die
jackets.
in that ambush.
Oh, that was one of mine actually.
Yeah.
But
But-
Rhodey,
Okay, before we jump on Rhodey, do you think I have a fair argument with?
you have a fair argument. I feel like there are a couple of holes in the argument, such as he was not expecting Stark tech, so he wore the more lightweight dragon skin, so that way he was prepared for AK-47s, maybe a small missile launcher that wouldn't have knocked that Humvee over, maybe even an IED, for that matter. But like I said, I mean, Stark Tech weapons, they prove to be the pinnacle of weapons.
Yeah.
So I got to assume, he's got to assume that, oh, well, they might have dragon skin armor, but I have something for that. Meet this motherfucker that will literally go through your
Okay.
chest cavity.
No, maybe. Now, of course, you could. I'll say that in the movie. Maybe it wasn't dragon skin; it was armor he produced. But
It does look that way if you want to see
Yeah.
pictures.
but it does look
But
like
yeah.
actual dragon skin armor the way it's designed. But
Yeah, it
I
looks
mean,
like it has that
I
same
can see-
layered design.
I can see the points you're coming at, and those could be, but I don't think that they're strong enough
Okay.
to really necessarily delete my point.
And I'm not, no.
But you did mention Rhodes, and this is something I missed, and you mentioned this to me earlier. Please, Rhodes. What
Well,
about him?
hold on. Before we get to that, I want to finish
Okay.
one more point.
Okay, all right.
What about potentially multiple pieces of shrapnel hit, then other multiple pieces of shrapnel hit that shrapnel,
Oh, you mean
and a
after the initial
continuing
blast?
domino push? Yes, it's flying in a straight line, 5 straight
Basically,
pieces.
blast,
dot, dot, dot,
blast,
hammer, hammer,
blast.
hammer. In.
Okay, that you'd have a valid point with, because, as I mentioned, that one test with the grenade, the front of that vest was torn up and pretty much gone. Nothing got through. But what if a second grenade or another missile with shrapnel hit, yeah, it probably would get through at that point. But
Well,
the initial
no, but I
first
mean
blast,
in a straight line. It shattered, but it shattered in such a way that multiple pieces were now in a straight line and heading towards it. One hits the other like a bullet. Once it stops, the other one pushes it like a hammering mechanism.
okay, like basically, the odds of that actually happening are low, but
Unless Stark
Still-
designed it that way.
still theoretically possible.
Okay.
I'll give you that, theoretically possible, but very unlikely that
As
would
long as
work
we've
out.
got the theoretically possible, I'm happy.
Okay.
All right. Now, on to roads. All right. There was a straight line of vehicles.
About
okay?
six,
We call
maybe
this
7 or
I
8.
call I've heard it referred to as many things. I call it a caravan.
Yes, the caravan.
Yeah, it's a straight line, wagons east kind of thing of Humvees. Now, he didn't let Rhodes travel in his Humvee.
Yeah.
He had to travel in the one in the back.
That was the fun V.
Humdrum V.
Yeah.
All right. Now that means when the attack occurred, Rhodes was in the.
One of the rear cars.
Yeah, he was definitely there for the firefight. Somehow he got away unscathed, but they still got Stark. You'd think a guy whose best friend was in another one would have tried to do something. Wouldn't have left that battleground until support got there, or he died.
Yeah, Rhodes would have died fighting.
Exactly. But no, Rhodes is fine.
Yeah,
And-
and funny enough, I missed that watching this again, and that's never even clicked to me. That
happens,
Rhodes was part of that convoy, and
I think that is the main reason you invited me to be on this podcast.
hey, you catch stuff I miss, I catch stuff you miss
Yeah.
sometimes. That's the fun of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are right. And granted, Rhodes not being there doesn't really affect the plot, but it would affect the plot for later movie because then Rhodes shouldn't be around.
Here's the thing. How did Tony Stark get saved from the desert?
Wandering, the troops and Rhodes having a part of the
Rhodes
troops.
not giving up the search for Stark.
That's
So now,
true.
if he had not lived, they would have given up on the search for Stark. Stark would have died of dehydration in the middle of the desert.
You're right, because he stated in the movie, I was a prisoner for 3 months.
Yeah.
He was in that cave for probably a little over 3 months, which means Rhodes was still looking for Stark during this time.
Mhm.
Granted, fortunately, he happened to come across that area that Stark was walking
Yeah.
through.
He just so happened to be lucky enough to see the only white guy in the middle of the desert.
I mean, granted, Tony did blow up their base. That could have, contact, heat, whatever. And Rhodes would have
That's
looked
fine,
from
except
that
how
point.
far did he get blasted from that base after he hit the jet propulsion?
Well, that comes to another point I came across.
oh, well,
So-
we've covered that Rhodey, him not being in the movie,
It does question a lot of stuff.
kills Stark. Therefore, it is a movie-killing plot hole.
You know what? I can accept that logic completely. Because Stark
Yeah.
would have most likely died of dehydration in the desert, and then
Yeah.
The other thing, let's say that the arc or the shrapnel still happens, whether your logic or just still does, right?
Well, yeah, that's going to happen either way.
Okay, let's say that we moved past that one, and let's say we moved past that Rhodes snuck out of that ambush.
He ran from a firefight, the coward.
When Tony escapes from the base, and he is in the prototype suits,
Mm-hmm.
he blasts off and flies to the air, right? Fun, cool little scene, except when he crashes. He doesn't go skidding across the desert. He does a complete stop.
He nosedives.
He would have died.
Not necessarily.
From that velocity, that height, in that suit.
He was going up at a velocity. That means he would have had to reach terminal velocity on the way down.
He would have stopped, and then came at 9.8 meters per second. However long he was in the air would have increased his velocity. And it's not so much.
Okay,
it's
I
the
go
fact
to
that
I go to Crank. I have to go to the movie Crank 2
Oh, okay.
as my argument.
Are you sure you want to pull up Crank? Because that was.
That's gonna
That's a
be
crazy
a
movie.
future episode. But they have proved, and they've even
Oh, you
taken
mean
from
skydivers
real life.
falling. You're right, skydivers.
People have fallen without their chutes, hit the ground, and been perfectly fine. And they were not shrouded in metal armor that was potentially designed to take kinetic energy.
But that's the point I'm getting to.
Okay.
The prototype suit, he wouldn't have the parts to make inertia dampeners, shock absorbers to handle that.
He made an arc reactor, dude.
He did. But that's believable in the way he put it together. Now, how much energy he puts out, I don't know. But the point is, him falling that height, and like I said, if he had skid across the ground and walked away, I'd been like, that's completely believable. But the fact that he didn't, he stopped. Just,
He did hurt his arm.
he hurt his arm, but honestly,
Okay.
I think he should have been dead at that point. Or severely injured enough that he would not have walked
he
away.
did land in sand too. It could have been loose sand just after some kind of sandstorm, and it was more cushiony than usual.
I still think too many internal injuries.
He hit those little propane thrusters on his legs, and just kind of break the fall a little bit as he was dropping.
It didn't show that. It showed him going up, tipping over, and coming straight down.
All right. Well, I still say that. I mean, it was
You
the
think
1 in a
it's-
million chance he lived.
Okay.
It's not a complete movie killer to me because there is the
You think
potential to live.
There's enough chance that he could have lived from it that
That
he
it-
could have kept going.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Hypothetically, we take your argument that the explosion drew American troops. Maybe he broke both his legs.
And they
There's
were
still a chance. So,
Okay.
I mean, as long as there's still a chance, there's no real death of the movie. He could have broken both his legs and been completely fine.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that the only doctor in this entire terrorist cell happened to have died already.
Okay. I'll give you that. Even though I still think personally it would have killed him in that fall, but granted, I don't know the height was at. I don't know the calculations. It might have been high enough to where he could have lived.
Yeah.
So I will actually give that plausibility and kind of put that one in the maybe area.
Yeah.
But I still think we both have two great movie killing plot holes
And
in
I
themselves.
can't say that he was falling that too hard because they managed to put together the entire set of armor. No dented metal.
Yeah, it was tough armor.
I mean, so if the armor wasn't destroyed, the person underneath might not necessarily be harmed.
I'm looking not more or less what the outside physically doing, but it's more the sudden force internally, all your organs, your brain, all that. Like anyone who watches any of the safety videos for driving and
I
crashing.
never said he didn't have a concussion.
You're right. And that's
I mean,
why I said it.
That's why he felt like he was walking through the
I
desert
would
for
have
3
to
months.
otherwise rewatch the scene and try to calculate the height and then.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
see
we
if
could
it was
actually
lethal.
science the shit out of this, but this isn't science killers. This
Yeah.
is movie killers.
I mean, that's something maybe like someone on the Nerdist could pull off, or any other channel. Which
Yeah.
we'll leave that to them. And for now, we'll just say it's plausible.
Bill Nye the Science Guy, if you're
Either way.
listening, let us know.
And it's funny, he'll always supposed to be known as Bill Nye the Science Guy, not just Bill Nye. No, it's Bill Nye the Science
He
Guy.
chooses that.
But he's awesome.
He could have stopped people. Oh, we'll get to something later off camera.
Okay. Well,
Okay, here's my big movie killer.
Okay.
Okay, this is one I watched, and it never made any sense to me. The Terrorists.
The Ten Rings.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess if
That's
you,
what they are. They're the Ten Ring organization.
yeah, the small terrorist cell.
Uh-huh.
Why was there a time frame to get the missile built when later on in the movie they already have a hold of it? It seems to me it's like, okay, Obadiah Stane paid or is dealing with the terrorist cell to kill Tony Stark. I can get behind that 100%. That makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
But why did not this? They're asking for money. I don't. You're our weapons supplier, dude. Give us the Jericho missiles
missile, yeah.
for killing Stark. Then we don't have to have Stark make the Jericho missiles, and then we don't have to worry about having to pay because all we did was kill somebody.
And not to mention, even with all those weapons they have in his industries, to really have remade the Jericho missile system,
It's possible.
possible, but it would nowhere.
Dude, you
refined.
give me 3 old Glock 1s and the guy who developed the Glock and tell me you can't make a Glock 4 out of it.
I have my doubts on him remaking the Jericho because when he was demonstrating, he says with new Stark's new repulsor technology,
Which he
was only able to
already
recreate
able to
as gauntlets
create.
and boots later on as factory for his designs.
No, because obviously he got the big suit airborne,
well, those were using more primitive style rockets.
but he still got
He
a
did.
small propulsion.
Yeah, he did, but I don't. It wasn't repulsor technology, I don't think. But either way, it's kind of like, could he really have? I don't think he would have. I think it was
Hey,
more
if
or
the
less,
guy can build an arc reactor, he can build
Yeah.
just about anything to me with. He can MacGyver the hell out
What I'm
of it.
saying is, I agree with your idea. Is that I
Yeah.
think it was more or less an excuse to keep the plot moving. And
Yeah,
it wasn't
that's
really a
plot armor.
realistic.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a realistic situation at the beginning completely.
Yeah. Well, it's not that it's realistic. It's that it just generally kind of kills the whole movie if you realize they could have just killed him
And got and ordered it.
and said, "Hey, we want Jericho missiles," instead of having Tony Stark make you Jericho missiles.
Yeah.
Because the person paying for it is the guy providing you and the manufacturer of Jericho missiles.
Yeah.
All right. Another big, huge, gaping plot hole to me
Huge gaping. Okay.
is Stark Industries.
Yeah.
Okay? I know that Pepper Potts is not high in the whole Stark Industries thing, but do you think
Not in the
she
first movie, at least.
think she couldn't have got with Jarvis about the whole idea of, hey, why don't we send some drones out to go find Stark? Why don't we track Stark's cell phone? Where's the last place he was picked up? I mean, how far could they have honestly gone from the place he was attacked to where he was taken if he had a gaping chest injury that was threatening to kill him?
I have to say the only way I could see is if it became a no-fly zone.
Even then, do you think she cares?
Well, I would think that, okay.
Do you think Rhodey would have said no fly zone? He would have said
And that's what I was going to say. I would think that she'd say, Brody, we got there and look, all send some Stark drones out.
We have drones. Yeah.
And you're right. That should have been done, and I agree.
And we know for a fact that Stark Tech has drones because that's the first thing Rhodey said when the jets came across the Iron Man armor was, do you have any drones flying in that area?
Yeah.
Means he has drones.
Yep.
He's done this before, and it's kind of irking him now.
I love that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Stark and Rhodey and just banter.
Yeah.
I love it.
I prefer Don Cheadle personally.
I love it Don Cheadle role, but that banter in the first movie was great.
Yeah, but you can't tell me. And
why
we're getting off topic.
Yeah,
but the War Machine Iron Man fight, that was some good trash talk.
Oh yeah, that was.
So
great.
don't even. Yeah.
That was. Great.
That's all I'm saying. I'm leaving it at that.
Okay, but that's a fair major plot hole, and honestly, I didn't really come across anything else that stood out in the rest of the movie that was major. Minor ones, yes, but nothing else that really broke the plot too much. Unless you can think of anything else that you came across that I might have missed.
Well, let me think.
Major.
Let me think here.
Okay.
If I were to go off what major plot holes here, the terrorists spoke English.
They spoke many languages, but yes.
English was at least two of them. The bald guy and the fat guy both spoke English.
The fat one who's always smiling?
Yeah, the one who was bossing everybody around.
No, he never spoke English.
Okay, well, at least the bald guy speaks English, which means at least one other person there has to speak English.
Yeah.
Hypothetically. Do you think they would have monitored the conversation between Stark and the Doctor
Yes,
on when they're building you a Jericho missile? Wait, that doesn't look like a Jericho missile. What the hell are they saying?
Well, you notice that and we should probably figure out his character's name. It'd probably be a good idea.
The leader of the Ten Rings.
Yeah, but when he came involved in the whole process, he started looking over and he immediately went inside to investigate what's going on.
Yeah,
'Cause
and then he
knew
asked for a
something was up.
date, right?
Yeah.
But then you got to figure there's a conversation going on. They're not saying nose cone, shaft. They're not talking about helmets, gloves, chest rigs, connecting to his arc reactor. Why would you be connecting a missile to an arc reactor? The guy next to you is not a weapons manufacturer, doesn't know terminology, and is going to have to be talked to much like you'd have to talk to me or you when it comes to building weapons. So with that statement, if he had just bothered to monitor the guy building him weapons...
Raza.
Yeah, Raza. Okay, fine. If Raza had bothered to put an English speaker to monitor them, audio-wise, they would have found out, oh, he's not building that. He's building a suit. Why else would a rocket need gloves, a chest rig, and a hookup to the arc reactor currently embedded in the other guy's chest?
Granted, they were hiding because they're doing it here and there, and they hit it pretty well. But you are correct.
How well? They did it over 3 months. Not even 3 months, because what do you think the healing time of that chest wound was? At least a week.
Yeah, at least.
Okay, and then the reconnecting of the building of the arc reactor, I'll call it a week. I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, and he had to put the whole new socket in there that he didn't have originally. No, I agree. There's definitely
all right, let's call it 2 months. 2 months to build the Iron Man Mach 1.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time, they're watching on camera, oh, I can't see what they're building. That doesn't look like a rocket. The second I would have questioned that doesn't look like a rocket, I walk in there, put a microphone. I want to hear what's going on. I want to see what's going on. And then I put an English speaker. There's got to be at least one, other than me. Sit here, listen to that. If you hear anything that sounds off to you, come get me, and we'll kill them both. And tell Obadiah we want our Jericho missiles.
I think that the way to get they kind of addressed that in a way is that because even when he was showing Jensen the designs, like, well, how does
he had it in multiple
he flat, like just flattened out and then walked away almost.
Yeah,
like he was very quiet just in case.
You know what I love? The fact that he laid it out and then walked away. It's sitting there on top of it.
Yeah,
Camera can't see that.
I'm surprised that Raza didn't. So like,
well, here's the thing. The second I see the chest rig, my first question: what the hell? What is this helmet?
Yeah.
He's literally sitting there smelting a helmet.
Yeah.
He
started smelting that after he came in and threatened to
exactly.
burn. And he's like, What do you want it? I think like a week or something he gave him or something. I
Yeah.
forgot the deadline was. At that point, that's the next scene where you see him making the helmet.
Yeah, and the second I see him making a helmet, go, okay, he's wasting his time again, because he has a welder's helmet. He doesn't need any of that crap. Time to start just killing Starks.
Also, the prototype suit, the Mark 1. Do you really think it could have handled a 50 cal? Because it was hit by a...
Honestly, depending on how thick the metal is, it's possible.
Possible.
Anything's possible. I would say if it maybe deflection, maybe not a straight on shot, but the one thing I realized is that armor had no ass to it,
Yeah, it was pretty exposed in the back. But then again,
and nobody got behind him for it. You gotta imagine, one of them would have been
Actually, no. There was one guy who did. He went for the headshot.
Yeah, the stupidest shot in the world. Oh, let's go for the back of the helmet, not the kidneys, not the lungs. Headshot.
Gotta love the dumb thugs.
Yep.
But then again, the dumb thugs would appreciate the smart ones.
To me, it was the stupidity of, literally the complete stupidity of the terrorists. To me, is a huge plot hole. Once again, they should have caught, they should have killed, and they should have just asked for the Jericho missiles.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. They definitely wasted time, and it was more or less to move the story along. And that is, like I said, it is the first of their movies, and for the most part, it's done well. But it does have its hiccups, like all movies. And yeah,
Okay.
It is definitely coming more now. I'm noticing that it's like, well, yeah, that was kind of forced in a way, which is never good. You never want to force something in the movie. You want to make it seem, seamless and flow.
Okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Tony Stark can control the entirety of the Stark Enterprises building through Jarvis, correct? For the most part?
For the most part, we can assume
Okay.
something like that.
I find out Obadiah Stane has got me kicked off of the board of directors for Stark Industries. What's the first thing I think I'm going to do? Is it wallow in my own self-pity? Build a new Stark armor? Maybe fly it over to the Middle East and fight guys? No. I want you to lock out Obadiah Stane from literally every single Stark facility mainframe. That means that anything on the mainframe, including certain ironmongers, should have been completely shut down.
Which is a minor issue that I came across was when he sent Pepper to use the Ghost Drive to get stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, when you find out you're locked out, why not just go there yourself?
Yep.
It's not like you're locked out the board that you can't go to your office anymore.
And just saying, I mean, you see, he's a notable face. Pepper still works there as an administrator.
He can still go into his office. That was his office. He could have walked in. If anyone says something, I'm just
I
getting
thought that was
something
Obi's
else.
office.
No, that was Stark's.
Okay.
Does Obi has hot rods as a background screensaver? Nope.
You might.
And he even said Stark always has the best stuff, and he was going through his office.
Oh yeah, he was
It was
raiding his
Stark.
liquor.
And
Okay.
look at that office.
Yeah.
That was Stark's office.
Okay. And then, I mean, I hate to say it, her complete use of the computer. Learn how to look up porn, woman. Escape, X, close the screen out, incognito browser, any of that to close out so he can't see what you were just looking at when he turns the computer on. How hard is it to control tab, close alt? Control alt delete, close tabs.
Well, like I said, also, he should have done that
Or hard
before.
reboot.
He could have hit the center. He could have went in that night from the foundation, went straight there.
Alright. If the Iron Man 2 is not proof of anything, he could have done that remotely.
Yeah.
He took over computer screens in the middle of a courtroom. He should have been able to do
But
that.
then again, now that I think about it, maybe he went home and designed the Ghost Drive for that purpose. He may have had to put it together. It may not have been ready.
Yeah, maybe.
I still think he should have went in and did it himself, because he could have easily talked his way past Obadiah.
The thing is, he could have literally had anybody do it.
Yeah.
He could have literally sent anyone to do it.
Actually, he shouldn't have go through any terminal and did that.
And then,
So yeah,
This
he
one-
could have remote in and got that information.
no, and here's a plot hole that just popped into my head that frightens me.
Okay.
What was Obi's big plan after killing Tony Stark in the Iron Man suit?
The final fight?
He just
Or-
proved, alright, I am flying a full-on mechanical suit powered by a Mach 2 arc reactor in the middle of the city,
Yeah.
street fights and all, pop my helmet up, not caring that Tony Stark's armor might be recording, and talk shit.
Or security systems around Stark Industries.
Yeah, or any of the security cameras, or the fact that S.H.I.E.L.D., a government agency, has been present on the scene. Know it's you in the suit.
Yeah. I also felt they should have arrested him sooner before he got there. But
Well, they had nothing to arrest him on.
But
Just
there is a minor one that kind of rewinding a bit back, and it was when Tony had fleshed out his new suit, went and fought over there. Back to the prototype suit about crashing in the desert, not having shock absorption and additional dampeners. It's kind of implied that the new suit had it, but when he's getting suited up, you don't see anything that would even remotely potentially be that.
Well, I mean,
Yet, when he's shot out of the air by the tank, and he crashes, it makes a crater, showing the kinetic force spreading out, which would...
the high-tech metal he was using.
Well, no, it would imply that he had it in there, but it also implied that he didn't. It's kind of like that.
Maybe it was electromechanical instead of cushion. Like it's just two little arms that move and push and lock him instead of full-on impact. But still, I want to know what Obi's big plan was after killing Tony Stark. Yeah. He's not the head of Stark Industries anymore because Shield's there to arrest him.
Point. He lost it. He was just gonna. Yeah. But to finish my other point though is that all they had to do in the movie was show him when he was designing everything, mentioning, that crash in the desert. How can I fix that?
Yeah, they did it with the ice.
Yeah, and the ice. Why would the ice shut down the internal systems? Mechanical
systems. It freezes over the electrical wiring.
That would cool the wiring better.
How about the solder joints?
That still should be fine. Mechanically, I can see the suit locking up.
Yeah, technically, electronics do work better under
But the arc
cold.
reactor is constantly, every second, pushing out energy. It should.
Doesn't the arc reactor shut down too?
It looks like it shuts down too.
That kind of sucks for him.
I know, right?
That's like a mini heart attack as he's falling, having a mini heart attack.
I think it said 15 minutes. If not that, he dies. But yeah, either way, that was just another little thing. It was like that shouldn't have been a complete shutdown.
Oh,
somewhat.
Here's one. Here's one then. Now that you have access to the best doctors and not cave doctors, think you get a second opinion? Hey, can we get this shrapnel out of my chest?
In the third movie, he finally did.
I'm aware of that. We haven't done the third movie yet.
No,
I'm talking in this movie. He could have easily went, I need to see my doctor. In fact, I don't even need my doctor. I designed a doctor. I call him Stark MD. What does he do? He pulls shrapnel out of my chest using robotic arms that are controlled through Jarvis, who can control suits.
And if I remember right, I think it's the second movie or the Avengers, one of the two, that they go into that and they mention, why haven't you had that stuff removed? Or it might have been Iron Man 3.
Well, I remember,
he was kind of like, he was afraid to get it out? I don't know.
They never mentioned about him, why haven't you gotten that taken out yet?
It was something.
In the end of Iron Man 3, I believe he actually had it removed.
He does, but I'm saying one of the movies, it might have been number 3, it might have been 2.
I watched all movies. I never remember hearing anything about why haven't you had that arc reactor removed.
Then it might have been one of the Avengers, I guess. But either way, it was mentioned like a kind of throwaway line.
But then even the worst part is that he could have had it removed. Are you telling me there's not microscopic surgery,
and
literally lasers to just erode it into nothing?
And as Rhodes had shown, he used the suit with a spare reactor, no problem. So why is Tony be plugged in directly?
And then second question: why are we? Well, no, that's not for this one. This is for another one. Never mind that. But I will remind me to bring this up, and feel free to delete this if you want. Why is he keeping spare reactors in suits? But let's save that for Iron Man 2.
Yeah, that happens number 2, and that's another minor problem I had with how Tony is. He's very methodical in his designs, right? Clearly, we have to assume he did design inertial dampeners. He solved the icing problem. He improved his Mark II arc reactor and made the new one that was far more powerful and far safer.
Yep.
Why did he make spares? Just in case something happens. I mean, you would think.
He wasn't. Well, I guess.
Just in case.
He was expecting that nobody would try to take it out. He wasn't. He figured, all right, I know. He's proven in the other movies. Well, I've learned hand-to-hand combat. I'm in my own home. I'm not anywhere where somebody can get to me. No one's gonna be able to pull this out. And then somehow Obadiah Stane has designed a laser thing specifically for taking chest reactors out of chest cavities without killing the person it's in. These lasers only go as far as the chest reactor, and that's it.
Yeah, but
that thing doesn't even heat up.
But that's where my concern comes in. It's like I would think that Tony would have had, a spare.
Oh, he did.
At least to power up the other suit just in case, like it does in Hammer 2. And it's why didn't he? I would think
maybe that's why he had the spare in the suit, so he knew I got a backup.
He was
why would I keep it in the suit?
Too narcissistic, you learn his lesson. I gotta have at least some other ones, just in case.
Why, after you find out that Obadiah Stane literally locked him out of his own company, would you let him in your house?
No, that was before he found out he was locked out.
No, that was when he stole the chess reactor. That's when he found out that Obadiah Stane was locked him out of the company.
No.
He finds out at the party before
Yeah.
he even goes to the Middle East to fight and realizes they have Stark Technologies.
He was told to lay low. He was still working. You are correct. And when he came back from the mission and was relaxing, he saw the whole Stark Foundation party.
Oh, no.
He went. That's when he found out.
Okay.
But Obadiah had come before then to tell him
No.
what happened at the board meeting.
Not what I mean.
Okay.
Okay. He's at the party. He just had drinks with Pepper Potts. He finds out that the Middle East has Stark Tech. Okay. He's out front of the party. He bumps into Obi. Obi is here. Let's take a picture. I voted you out.
You're right.
I voted you out.
Steps and scenes. You
Then
are
he
correct.
flies over, destroys everything. Obi's in his house, taking his arc reactor.
He should have been locked down in the security system at that point.
No, and the fact that Tony Stark specifically said we're not making weapons anymore, finds out that you're locking me out of my company, finds out he has Stark Technologies, can't put A to put two and two together.
Yeah.
B doesn't knock Obi out for locking him out of his own damn company. I would have jaw-jacked him right there. Hey, I locked you out of your own company. I'm the one who did the vote. Knock that chin hair right off the top of your head. I mean, you're literally going behind my back trying to make more weapons when I don't want to make weapons anymore, man. I mean, don't push a guy.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like I said, he should have been arrested and other things a lot sooner.
To me, that's a huge gaping plot hole again. We found another big one, a potential movie killer. You're locking me out of my own company.
At that point, the movie's
shrug it
already
off,
gone.
go to the Middle East. No.
Yeah, but still, no, it's definitely a plot hole, and it's definitely a problem.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, man. I mean, for the most part, the rest of it seemed pretty
Why would he
simple.
get let into the house? Though that's the thing.
Yeah.
How did he just walks in? What, Jarvis can be manipulated?
Well, no, I mean, Nick Fury did, but that's Nick Fury. No, I agree. He should have been locked out. Stark should have called up and had him locked out of Stark Industries.
No. I mean the house itself.
That's what I mean. The house, he should have been not have given had access,
Yeah, it should have been Jarvis lock Obi out.
or showed that Jarvis was shut down, and that's how he got in. Because if Nick Fury could do it, I mean, we could assume the main villain of the movie should
And then
have done it.
one of the things that kind of made me wonder too is put in old reactor, little reactor.
Mm-hmm.
Tell Jarvis manufacture new reactor. He can build an entire suit 5 hours.
Yeah.
He should be able to build an arc reactor in a little bit less time. Especially because all those parts are parts that were from different Stark technologies they'd already created.
Yes.
So he already has the product. Manufacture me a new one. I'll go over to Stark Industries. I'll pick up my new arc reactor. I'll pop that in, get in my suit, beat the shit out of him, and not have to worry about power down issue.
He was in a hurry because Pepper's in danger. That's the only
He
reason.
didn't get moving till before Pepper was even close to danger. He didn't even find out she was in danger until he got to Stark Tech and found her with the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents getting all fucked up. See, he could have easily, and he was going to Stark Tech anyway, because that's where he wants them to manufacture the new arc reactor.
Well, that's where his primary.
He could have flown the suit to go get the new reactor.
Yeah.
Oh, here, let me pop this in now. Oh, that's much better. All right, time to
Well,
start
it
putting
can-
boot ass.
It can function to suit its full potential.
And then Jarvis pops in with the whole, hey, maybe we shouldn't lose palladium. Hey, shut up. We don't have two without palladium.
Well, Palladium said the best he could use until he discovered the new element he created. But
I feel like Jarvis could have done better.
Yeah, but that's number 2.
Yeah. But still, I mean, he could have had Jarvis manufacture the new one while he was getting there. And then even power down the huge arc reactor running the Stark Tech Industries building, so that way they never would have been able to boot up the big suit.
Yeah. Something that kind of bugged me was at this point you find out that S.H.I.E.L.D.'s a thing.
S.H.I.E.L.D. is a thing.
Do you think S.H.I.E.L.D. would have known where Tony was and just picked him up? If they really wanted to? It's not major,
I don't.
It's more just a minor, like,
Well, here's the thing.
kind of like,
Here's the thing. They don't want to cause ill will because they are working towards an overall goal of
That's true.
an initiative.
Well,
Some kind of initiative
well, I meant
of
saving
revenge.
Tony at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Because they were very interested in debriefing him.
We
It's
would like to talk to you.
Yeah.
You see, I think they didn't. They found out about the Iron Man armor just as quick because S.H.I.E.L.D. satellites and all that. Nick Fury doesn't let anything go by.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're like, well, can you build a better suit? And he did. And they found out about that. They started talking harder. Like, oh, well, we'd like to talk to you. They don't want to piss him off because they see what happens when you piss him off. He completely shuts down, doesn't help you at all. Which is what, so they're trying to garner the goodwill, cover-ups and all that.
And now I remember one of the little points I came across.
Okay.
Tony Min tries the arc reactor in the cave, right?
Last time I remembered.
Obadiah asks some of his engineers at the main arc reactor, shrink it.
Just make it smaller.
I can't do it. And they're like, they've been looking at this technology for decades. He's like, it's a dead end. It's not cost efficient. Why has no engineer who's been assigned to look over the arc reactor figured it out yet?
I know why. Because neither it probably was not available back when Stark had it built, the large one, so it's not made of it, and they didn't know he used it, and I'm talking about the palladium. They didn't know he used palladium to make it. They had no idea what he used to make it.
That's true.
If I told you, make me something, and then tell you any of this, like, make me a cake, but didn't give you any of the ingredients of the cake, you could make a cake. It's not going to be as good. It's not going to work nearly well enough because you don't know what I wanted you to put in it.
Well, and I get that, but my point is more or less that Stark Industries has had the arc reactor going for decades, right?
Yeah.
You would think that they would have had at least someone on the project trying to how to make it cost efficient because obviously it works. It produces great power. It's just like the space shuttle, it wasn't cost efficient to do, at every manufacturing plant out there. But if it's possible to miniaturize it and make it cost efficient, then it'd be worth it. Well, why not have one guy on staff at least to just be doing it for decades?
Well, that's the thing. Is even he says, like, we did that to shut the hippies up. This was not something we wanted as a viable thing. Yeah. This is something we wanted to shut the Greenpeace people up.
But
we're weapons manufacturers. Look, we're 100%. It wasn't cost effective. It actually cost us $50,000 a year just to run this thing. That's why they didn't try to research to make it cost effective. It's the same reason you don't send the figurehead of the company to do better at business school. Here's the thing. Look at the thing while the other hand's doing something else.
I got you. The board decided it wasn't worth it, and that was it.
It's not even that they decided it wasn't worth it. It's like, here, we built it. Will it shut them up? And I'm happy. Leave me alone.
I still think that someone should have staff at least try for a while.
Yeah, somebody should have. But once again, you don't agree with that.
Yeah, but
that's the whole point. I feel like if they had an ingredient list, look, this is everything Stark had in the cave, and you think Obadiah could have got that information, seeing how terrorists were working with him.
A lot of stuff, but still.
Oh, look, here's the video of Tony Stark stuck in there building this.
How did you get this?
Just watch.
Just do it.
We got it from.
Granted, that was pretty grainy footage.
Still, I mean, they would have had. Okay, what are they doing here? They're pulling something out. What's in that area? Maybe he's using the palladium.
Palladium.
I mean, at the very least, watching somebody make it helps a little.
Well, yeah, you get any little bit of hints, you can start putting the pieces together because there's only certain permutations you can do. And this comes from just general engineering and designing and
because they built the entirety of the suit much larger.
Yeah, you know the results you want. You know the size you want. Yeah. Okay, how do I do what's this doing to make it this?
Underpants, no.
Use this. Something in here is the key ingredient, or one of the ingredients.
I hate to say it, but scientists do like to use the underpants gnomes method. It's like, underpants, something, profit. Well, now we have arc reactor, something, another arc reactor.
But smaller and better. And the funny thing is, that's algebra.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, never use
solve for X.
Solve for X. That's what the whole point is, the concepts. But, but yeah, I mean, aside from that,
stop educating people.
I know. Sorry.
This is entertainment only.
I'll leave it with Professor Miles' classroom for another thing. But now that's was the last little minor plot hole I kind of came across. So I was like, well, someone should have been working on it. But I mean, do you got anything else you can think of that for that movie really kind of just even if it was just minor? Plot hole wise, or just you want to jump in some general comments and have some fun?
Okay. One of the big things that, minor big things, is they still had shield helicarriers. You think the second Agent Coulson reported in, holy crap, they have a giant robot. Oh, here comes more than just 5 guys with handguns. Here comes Black Widow and Hawkeye to shut you down.
Yeah.
Here comes any number of the people on staff built to handle this that are not Coulson.
But to be fair, it was Coulson.
I mean, he is Coulson, yeah. But even Coulson knows, get back up.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, and I agree that they should have been a little more prepared. But
No, I understand. They went in there and they weren't expecting a giant
It might
robot.
have been the whole headstrong attitude of, we're SHIELD agents, we're the best, the best, the best. Sorry.
Well, no. The thing is that they weren't expecting to walk into a giant robot.
Well,
so
yeah.
I understand.
The
5,
Ironmonger, holy
6
crap.
guys. I understand.
I would have been
6
like,
guys.
gone.
Like, it's one old bald guy who's just making threats. Okay, you get in there. Oh, there was something big here. Oh shit, it's a giant Ironmonger suit. Commander, what is it?
Maria Hill?
No, I'm talking about Shaft. Samuel Jackson.
Nick Fury.
Director Fury.
Director Fury.
Yeah, gets online with Director Fury. We're gonna need at least Hawkeye and Black Widow. We need somebody to take down a giant robot. Do we have anybody who can take down a giant robot? Is Magneto busy? I mean, something.
Yeah. Hey, wait. Different studio. We can't do that.
Same company though.
Same company, but
They all
cinematic
exist in the
rights.
same. All right, yeah, Quicksilver, yeah, blah blah blah.
Yeah, X-Men unfortunately are part of that universe cinematically.
Yeah. But still, I mean, to
Look,
my
you're
statement, call up some backup.
Yeah.
Stop Obadiah.
Get one of your Quinjets in there. Holy crap.
At the very least, you get Fitz and Simmons to show up with a small EMP device. Oh, I wonder what an EMP would do to an arc reactor. Let's find out.
Yep.
And don't tell me they can't. They can.
Yeah, no, I agree. SHIELD could have been a bit more smarter about it. Yes, it was the first movie, but continuity-wise, they've been around. So I agree. That's definitely something.
Okay. And then what happened to his lasers and all the weapons that Stark had in his suit that he never used in that fight with Obadiah? He took out a bunch of terrorists with it.
Here's why. Jarvis stated that with his prototype what's it called, the Mark II reactor. We'll say
the Mark I reactor.
We'll say the original is the Mark I. We'll say the first one he makes is the Mark II, just for
the second one he makes is the Mark II.
So the Mark II, the one he has to put back into him.
No,
Jarvis
it's the Mark.
said,
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. The one with the battery power pack is Mark I.
Yeah, the first one he makes in the cave.
All right, is Mark II.
Or the one he makes first one in the cave. Okay, so Jarvis states that when he plugs it into the suit, it's not powerful enough to keep up with the new suit.
Okay.
You only have, I think, 15 minutes or 19 minutes to stay in flight.
Yeah.
Tony used most of the power output when he shot the chest beam at Obadiah.
Okay.
So he had to get the suit off because it was going to shut down the arc reactor and kill him.
Yep.
So that's why he couldn't use the other weapons. Even though he would have had them replenished, and he could have. And I think he used the shapes to distort Obadiah's vision temporarily.
Yeah.
So, but he could have used lasers, he could have used the little missiles, but maybe...
Just that one-arm missile is all I'm asking for. The one that took out the damn tank.
The anti-tank missile.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
That should have ended the movie right there. Like, oh, you have a tank. I got some of that.
He could have launched that and then could have got the suit off.
In fact, I'm relatively sure he could have launched that without the entirety of the rest of the suit. Let me just grab the arm rig with the tank thing and just power that. Wait, so then I don't need sustained flight? But how will I get to that? How will I get there? It's not like I have a garage full of really fast cars or anything.
Yeah. And I agree. But he also thought he would die from the fall, which he didn't. Once again, fall death, not happening.
So, therefore, armband of death is not happening either. Alright,
but no, that is a very valid point, and I agree. The anti-tank missile should have been at least blown a chunk of that suit up to where even if Obadiah is exposed, it could still be functioning to some extent. He's still been like, not now, buddy.
No.
But, I mean, aside from that, there was one thing I was wondering about the movie.
Ask away.
What is the worst thing that Pepper Potts has walked in on Tony doing?
I would like to say, the twins that he did, that he was talking about with the soldiers. Remember how he said, it's true you went 12 for 12 with last year's Maximum models? And he goes, actually, no, me and March had a scheduling issue, but luckily December was twins.
Oh, yeah.
They were twins. That means they're related. They're sisters.
So you think, okay.
I'm saying that's got to be up there.
Because the way he said that when she looked down, it's not the worst.
Okay, all right. And then if that's not it, He needed something a specific size and shape to attach a magnet at the end of to get a tool out of the inside of, say, an engine block. Hands are too big. Feet don't have the dexterity. What can I attach the end of this magnet to the end of to reach in there to grab it? He's going in to get it with the only item he really has.
You know,
and then Pepper walks in and he's got his dick in a V8.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. That really wouldn't, based on just how we see Downey Jr.
Or then again, one of my personal favorite ideas now is, Jarvis, while I'm doing this, can you please read me 50 Shades of Grey?
Oh, wow. By the way, if Robert Downey Jr., if you've ever come across this podcast and you want to give us an idea of what you alluded to in that scene, please feel free.
Let's see. It involved a pickle, a feather, some whipped cream, an 80-year-old woman, and why not one of that robotic arm that he's always so mean to. I feel like there's a lover's quarrel there that was never rectified.
There is a lover's quarrel with that bot.
Because he made it. That was his first bill. That was his child.
That was one of the things
he's threatening to send it to an inner city school.
Salvage him.
Yeah, I'll turn you into a wine rack.
That's right. And then it did anyways. I was like, oh, that reminds me, the testing error. Why didn't Tony wear a helmet when he was testing the flight systems?
He hadn't built the helmet yet.
No, I mean just
the second helmet.
Any helmet. Especially after the first time he just hits the wall.
Because they weren't making Hello Kitty bicycle helmets at the time.
I know, still.
No, my personal favorite is he starts with 10%. Not 1%, which he really wanted to start with there. It's like, 1%, let's see if we even get airborne with that. 2%, keep trying. Let's just jump into 10%. What the hell?
But I'm saying, after that one time, you expect him to see him wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
At least. But nope, not Tony. No. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to just take it as it happens.
Yeah, but it's just... That makes no sense why he's not wearing a helmet and how the crash didn't kill him. It's like, let's go straight up. Damn.
Yeah. But, it's that aside from moments like that where potential fall deaths could have occurred and things that we pointed out, the movie, for the most part, was actually really well put together for the first in the cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Which is why everyone likes it so much and why it's always fun to go back and rewatch.
That is true.
Because I enjoyed watching it again. I was like, this is always fun to put on.
Oh, always. Now, the worst part is, can we come up with any more fun ones?
I had a few, but like I said, I forgot my list. And that's my own fault.
Well, let's see if I can... one thing I really want to know about Tony Stark is how is he just sitting there at the craps table and nobody came up and said, hey, it's time to go? Why is Happy not going, hey, Tony, we got to get to the award show now. Just real quick, we'll pop over, come back.
Yeah, Happy's pretty good about keeping him on schedule, too.
Happy's pretty good about not keeping him on schedule.
Well, every time...
He's like, oh, yeah, you take your own car, I'll take the rolls, and I'll meet you at the airport. Why? Why would you take two cars? Who drove the other car home?
Well, he also considers Happy a friend, so...
Yeah, that's more of a buddy-buddy situation, but it's like having a parent. You can't be friends with them. It's your job to keep this person on task.
Yeah, that's true. Someone should have nudged him and said, hey, but he might have said, I'll be all right, and just not even care, because it's Tony.
Yeah. And then he gives the award away. That was kind of rude.
And he probably had it mailed to him, because...
No, he didn't. He gave it to the guy dressed as Caesar.
Yeah, but the guy being all like, Tony Stark, just have it now.
No, he probably kept it. Look, Tony Stark gave it. Dude, if Bill Gates handed you a piece of glass and said, here you go.
I would be like, what the fuck?
I would not return it. Bill Gates.
I'd be utterly confused and perplexed why Bill Gates just handed me a piece of glass. No matter how fancy it looks.
I keep it anyway. Hey, look, see, got his name on it. Bill Gates. Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you're working in Vegas, people buy that. Take that over to Pawn Stars. Look, this is an award given to Tony Stark. Yeah. Well, I got a guy who's actually an expert in gifts given to people by Tony Stark. Let me call him in. Yep, that's a gift given to somebody by Tony Stark. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Tony. They did a great job at that. It really brought the character to the forefront and public knowledge.
Well, by the way, my whole theory behind him not being an alcoholic throughout the rest of the series was the 3 months in the cave. He went through the easiest detox in history. Leave and you die. Don't do what I tell you and die. Keep your mind busy or you die.
You know what?
He's not an alcoholic anymore.
I can't remember after the cave him drinking alcohol at any point in that movie.
He did 3 months detox, bro.
But that might be why they number 2.
Yeah, that's
The
why they
blood
couldn't go
poisoning.
through the. Well, let's save that for number 2.
Well, yeah, we'll go with that one, which I still think is great. But you're all right. He would have went to the detox at that point.
That is the Yeah, he did a week unconscious, which got him through the worst of the shakes. And then after he woke up from his massive heart surgery, which, you really shouldn't do on alcoholics,
Yeah.
he just walks out. Boom.
He was also focused and driven on.
Yeah.
He was on a crusade mode.
Yeah.
He even said
He had a new addiction, too. And
Yeah.
tech.
Get my tech back and stop these people because it's happening behind my back.
Exactly. Not one drink. I mean, there you go.
That was another minor thing. Was everyone was pissed off at him for trying to do the right thing.
Everybody who
Really?
Anybody who profits.
Even Pepper?
Does she have a job if they start cutting people? Oh, yeah. I think the first person you're gonna get rid of is the administrative assistant of the guy who's ruining the company.
That's Tony's call, though. He hired.
Not if Obadiah Stane locks him out of his own company.
Yeah, that's true.
See, Obadiah makes money because he's dealing under the table weapons, and they manufacture weapons. This is primarily what they do.
Yeah.
Same with Rhodey. Rhodey is his liaison with the military about their purchasing of weapons. That's why he's always present for that crap. Just saying, that's the thing. It's just pretty cut and dry.
How? One of my little points I had made a note of, I just popped in my head. After he saves the village, and the U.S. Air Force goes after him, why? Yes, it's a no-fly zone, but they just confirmed he just saved that entire village, whatever this thing is. And it's just flying away, not causing any more harm, and you're going to just attack it? They tried to
It's already
contact
broken the rules.
Maybe, but sometimes you guys
My
are like,
question is, why didn't he drop below radar level?
having too much
It's the desert. There's no trees. Yeah, alright, the jets are there now. Drop straight down to the ground where the jets can't fly that low.
Well, he already proved he can outmaneuver them easily,
Yeah.
which was great fun scene.
And then another thing is you think he would have come up with a radar jammer of some kind.
He probably did after that point.
You
Also,
will
of course,
because-
you didn't notice the other pilot backed off after he saved his buddy from falling to death.
Yeah.
Because he was after him, and then he kind of just swerved off going.
Yeah. It's like, oh,
Whatever
we
this
have
thing
shoot.
is-
We have shoot.
Where this thing is, he did the right thing. I'm not. Nope.
Yep. Yeah. We go. Oh, yeah. No, I can't get too close now because he could always go back and kill that dude.
Oh, yeah. Or just tear off my wing.
Yeah. It's like bye wing. He knows we have parachutes now. Fuck.
But yeah. Yeah, I mean, aside from that, I like I said, man, I think that's all I'd come up with for Iron Man.
Yeah. For me, it'd be a bunch of little questions like we've been having fun with for the last couple minutes. It's like, why on earth would he give anybody else access to his lab, including Pepper Potts? If he doesn't want to be bothered with that information, why even let her in?
Because, for one, he cares about Pepper Potts. He trusts her
Well,
with
I know he
everything.
does, but
And Rhodey's his best friend and trusts him, which is why Rhodey and Pepper both had access not only to his lab, not only to his
to the
personal
underground
garage,
thing, yeah.
but they could actually get access to the suits. As in number 2 showed, that Rhodey was able to not only
We're
get
not in
in.
number 2 yet.
I know. I'm just mentioning on your point.
We're gonna ruin everything for number 2 and number 1.
Oh no, it's plenty number 2 to do. But he got in there and was able to put the suit on and power it up. And you would think that Tony would lock other people out, but no, he trusted those two. He trusts those two, and those are the two in the comics that actually get their own.
Yeah,
suits.
and I guess they didn't really have to worry about it after he smashes all the glass out.
That too.
Yeah, it's like, you gotta have the code. Oh, yeah, no glass.
But no, it's because he trusts them, and that's why.
Okay. I'll adhere to that, even though, if I didn't want to be bothered by my personal assistant, no matter how much I liked her, I just changed the code to the door.
Yeah, but
And then, okay, so I think it's only little stuff like that I've always ever had. Is, why would you make the wrist, when you figured out that the wrist reactors can overpower, how do you control from doing that? I mean, how does he go from regular propulsion to full-on jet fire?
the repulsor.
Yeah.
I
I mean, that's gotta suck. That, anytime like, oh, here, I'm just gonna lean over for, oh shit, broken table.
I think it's more or less the just controlling the system to do continuous for flight systems, because that's what he designed those for, was simply flight controls.
Yeah.
But then you realize we can release a burst of it as a shot, and it's like, oh.
But how?
But how does it go so far when the bursting it?
Well, no, I don't mind that.
Okay.
I can understand a quick burst, but how does he go from quick burst to regular propulsion? He doesn't change his hand movement. He brings it up, it fires.
Yeah.
And he keeps holding his hand like that. How is it? So what happens? Okay, I'm in my suit. I bend my hands the right way. Oh, it was just a Spitfire. So now I'm circling because only one went off. Or one keeps going, but the other one just Spitfires, and now it's just I'm wobbly.
Yeah,
This is stuff I will be covering in another web show we're going to be doing about the DeLorean. Because I'm going to bring this up too. It's all about the,
but one could assume that because the montage of him building the suit up, testing each system individually, putting them together, testing it, and further improving that. Yes, the suit could malfunction, and he could do a spiral out of control. But for the most part, he would have it to where and then flight mode. Oh, time to shoot. Release, and
yeah, but how does the suit? What if he's in flight mode, but then he needs to stabilize himself sideways?
Yeah,
there's questions. I have tech questions.
But
once again, Bill Nye the Science Guy, Neil deGrasse Tyson, any of you guys, help me out here.
SOS, man, come on, guys. But yeah.
And on that, I think I'm done pretty much.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think we had enough fun with Iron Man. We got to point out some of the more blaring issues, but make fun of some of the minor stuff and just on the general greatness of the movie.
All right. And just so that everyone's aware, next show we'll be doing Iron Man 3.
What about 2?
Oh, what? You wanted to do it in order?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we're doing it in order.
Yeah, Iron Man 2 is one of my favorites.
Is it?
Yeah. I know some people think it's...
You know what my favorite Iron Man movie was? Avengers.
We'll get to that with the Avengers one day.
Yeah, well, that will be coming after, and I don't know about you, but I'm telling everybody I do have the plan. We're going to do Iron Man, then we're going to be doing another superhero, and then another superhero, and then hopefully movies involving groups of those superheroes. And if you can ascertain what that means, good work.
You want to do Marvel for a while then, or do you want to?
I want to stick with Marvel for a minute, but if we get a little tired with it, we can always bounce forward and bounce back.
I think we should.
They're still putting out our Marvel movies, so as far as I'm concerned.
Well, yeah, we'll finish up Iron Man. Maybe we'll do a different one on the side, and we'll keep going. We'll just go back and forth. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll definitely be covering all the main Marvel heroes for certain, and even we'll go into DC. Now that DC is building a cinematic universe.
Yeah, very true.
So, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. It's a pleasure, I'm Blake.
I'm Tom.
This has been Movie Killers.
And like I said, please hit us up on our Facebook with feedback. Not, hey, you're doing a great job, but hey, this is where you're screwing up. You fucking douchebag.
Yeah, or leave a comment or send a message to, if you're on SoundCloud, you can send a message to me on there, or if you catch us on YouTube, you can leave a comment in the description and just let us know. And
we are both listed as the administrators on the Facebook page, so you can private message us too if you don't want to be publicly known.
But yeah, actually, the Facebook Movie Killers would be one of the best ways to get a hold of us, unless
because then you get rid of both. Thank you. Good night and good luck.
Yep.